All right, let's dive in. Today, we're tackling the big ones. The universe, our souls, what happens after we die, all that fun stuff.
The really big questions. Yeah.
Exactly. And we're exploring these ideas through the lens of Allan Kardec's What is Spiritism? Specifically, we're focusing on Chapter 3.
Ah, yes, Chapter 3, a fascinating exploration drawing directly from the spirit world itself.
It's kind of wild when you think about it. Kardec's insights aren't just theories. They're based on communication with spirits.
It's true. Kardec was like a cosmic journalist in a way, interviewing spirits through mediums and compiling their wisdom in the Spirits book. And Chapter 3 of What is Spiritism dives into that knowledge to try to answer those age-old questions we all have.
It's almost like having a direct line to those who've crossed over, getting their take on the mysteries of existence.
Yeah.
And one of the first things that jumps out is Kardec's idea of the plurality of worlds. He says Earth isn't unique.
Not at all. There are countless other worlds out there teeming with life, and not necessarily life as we know it either.
Right. It's not all little green men, although that would be kind of cool.
Maybe on some planets. But the spirits, through Kardec, describe a universe with incredible diversity. We're talking planets with beings adapted to all sorts of crazy environments. Some civilizations might be far more advanced than us, while others are still early in their development.
It's mind-boggling to think about. Imagine those civilizations, their technologies, their cultures. It really stretches our concept of what's possible.
It does. And it makes you wonder about all those sci-fi movies and books. Maybe they're not so far-fetched after all.
Maybe not. Okay, so we've got this vast universe teeming with life. But where do WE fit into it all? That's where Kardec's idea of the soul's journey comes in.
Yes, this is a core concept for Kardec. He says our existence isn't limited to this single life on Earth.
We're not just born, live, and die, and that's it.
Nope, not according to Kardec. The soul, he says, exists before the body and continues to exist after death. We're on a continuous journey of progress, evolving through multiple lifetimes.
So it's not like we're starting from scratch with each new life. We're carrying the experiences, the wisdom of previous lives with us.
Exactly. Like imagine playing a video game. Each life is a new level, and you're carrying over the skills and knowledge you gained from the previous levels.
I like that analogy. Makes it easier to grasp. So we're not just repeating the same mistakes over and over. We're building on our past experiences, constantly learning and growing.
Right. Each lifetime is a chance to evolve a little further along that journey. And that brings us to a question that's probably puzzled everyone at some point. Why do some individuals just seem to have certain talents, even at a young age?
Yeah, those child prodigies you hear about. Or why do we sometimes feel an instant connection with someone we've just met? Or an instant dislike? It's like, where is that coming from?
Kardec might say those aren't just random occurrences. They could be echoes of past lives influencing our present.
So that child prodigy might be drawing on skills they honed over multiple lifetimes. And that instant connection or dislike could be rooted in a past relationship.
Precisely. Our past lives, according to Kardec, are interwoven with our present, shaping our tendencies, our talents, even our relationships. It offers a really unique perspective on how we experience life.
It does. But then it also raises a big question about good and evil. If we're carrying the baggage of past lives, are we doomed to repeat our mistakes? Are we just at the mercy of our past actions?
Here's where Kardec's concept of free will comes in. He says, yes, we are born with inclinations based on our past deeds. But we always have the power to choose how we act in the present.
So we're not puppets on strings controlled by our past.
Not at all. Every lifetime is a new opportunity. We can learn from our past, break free from negative patterns, and make more conscious choices.
It's a much more hopeful perspective. It means we have the power to shape our own destiny. But eventually, this life does end. So what happens then? How does this whole soul journey transition to the spirit world?
Kardec actually talks about this a lot. He really dives into the mechanics of death. And he's drawing on, firsthand accounts from the spirits he interviewed, right?
Yeah. So it's not like what we see in the movies. A dramatic flatline and boom, that's it.
Not quite, no. It's a bit more, gradual. Kardec describes it as a detachment of the soul from the body.
Detachment. Okay, interesting. So not a sudden break, but more of a separation.
Exactly. A separation that happens over time. And how fast or slow it happens depends on how attached to the material world the person was.
Oh, I see. So someone who is really focused on material things, possessions, status, that kind of thing, they might have a harder time letting go.
Right. Their soul might linger a bit, reluctant to move on.
Holding on to that earthly life. And what about cases of, say, sudden death? accidents, suicides, things like that.
Kardec mentions those specifically. He says those souls can be pretty disoriented. They might not even realize they've died at first.
Whoa. Imagine that. Trying to interact with a living, but you're invisible, no one can hear you.
It's almost like those ghost stories, right? Spirits trapped, unaware of their new reality. But eventually, Kardec assures us they do figure it out. The fog clears, and they come to understand their new state of being. And then the real journey begins.
The real journey. Meaning it's not just like lights out, the end.
Not at all. According to Kardec, the spirit world is very structured and organized, and how advanced a soul is determines where they end up.
So it's not just souls floating around aimlessly.
Not even close. Think of it as a cosmic university. Lots of different levels, different communities, all tailored to help souls learn and develop further.
A cosmic university, huh? So let me see if I understand this. Someone who lived a life dedicated to service and compassion, they wouldn't end up in the same class as, say, a tyrant.
You got it. They'd be in different spheres, working through their own lessons and challenges.
Okay, that makes sense. Not about punishment, but growth.
Exactly. Okay, here's a big one. What about our loved ones who've passed? Do we ever get to see them again?
That's the question everyone wants to know. I mean, anyone who's lost someone.
And Kardec has a very comforting answer. He says that in the spirit world, souls keep the affections they had on Earth.
They still love us, even after they're gone.
Yes. And they're often there to greet us when we transition to the spirit world.
Wow. So it's not goodbye forever, but more like, see you later.
A reunion on a different plane. It's beautiful, really. But then, what do souls actually do in the spirit world? How do they spend their time?
Yeah, I've always wondered that.
Well, remember, it's all about progress. They have occupations, they continue learning, and they even get to help others.
Help others, like even those of us still here on Earth.
Exactly. They can act as guides or mentors, you could say.
That's incredible. Those moments of inspiration we feel are like a nudge in the right direction that comes out of nowhere. Maybe that's them.
It's a possibility. Advanced souls working behind the scenes. It really changes how you think about prayer, too, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It's not just about asking for things, but connecting with wise, compassionate beings who might be able to guide us.
It becomes more of a dialogue. But what about judgment? Where does that fit into all of this?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. There's got to be some kind of cosmic reckoning for our actions, right?
Okay, there is. But Kardec's view of judgment is pretty unique. It's not about a divine being deciding our fate. It's about experiencing the consequences of our own actions, both good and bad.
The universe as a giant feedback loop.
You could say that. And those consequences can manifest in different ways. Remember how Kardec challenged the idea of hell as a literal place of fire and brimstone?
Oh, yeah. He said that we basically create our own hell through our guilt and remorse, right?
Right. Our negative actions create suffering for ourselves. And the opposite is true, too. The peace and joy we cultivate through good deeds, those become our own heaven.
So we really are responsible for our own experience, both here and in the afterlife.
It's a powerful realization, but it's also empowering because it means we have the ability to choose a better path, always.
It really puts the power back in our own hands, doesn't it? We're not just along for the ride.
Exactly. And it ties right back into Kardec's whole concept of reincarnation. He didn't see it as some kind of punishment. It's more like a series of opportunities.
Opportunities to what? To grow.
To grow, to learn, to evolve, to become better versions of ourselves. Like we're given multiple chances to get it right.
To figure things out. So each lifetime, it's like building on the last one, taking what we've learned, the experiences we've had, even the talents we've developed, and carrying them forward.
It makes you think about, people who are just incredible at certain things, like art, music, whatever. Maybe they're tapping into skills honed over many lifetimes.
Yeah, that's a cool thought. Imagine if we could access those memories, those past lives. Would it change how we live this one?
Yeah.
Would we make different choices?
That's a big question, isn't it? Would we be more compassionate, more understanding, knowing that we've all walked different paths, made mistakes, learned from them?
It's a really profound thing to think about. And it all goes back to what Kardec said about how interconnected we all are. We're not just these isolated individuals, right? We're part of this huge tapestry of souls, all in a journey together.
All learning and evolving together. And that journey, it's not limited to just Earth, remember? Kardec talked about the plurality of worlds.
Oh, yeah, the idea that there are tons of other planets out there with all sorts of life.
Exactly. So that means, our souls, they might experience life on those other planets too.
Wait, are you saying we could reincarnate on another planet? Is that what Kardec is suggesting?
It's a possibility he definitely puts out there. Our souls could be experiencing all kinds of different environments, cultures. It really expands our whole concept of what's possible.
It's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it, the potential scope of our soul's journey, not just across lifetimes, but across worlds.
Right. It makes you feel incredibly small in a way, but also like, wow, we're part of something much bigger than we can even imagine.
It's both humbling and kind of awe-inspiring. And it all comes back to what Kardec emphasized so much, that our choices matter. Like every thought we have, every action we take, it creates ripples that extend way beyond just ourselves.
It's like we're all contributing to this grand tapestry of existence,
Yeah.
not just shaping our own destinies, but the destiny of everything around us.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Chapter 3 of What is Spiritism, I think the main takeaway is that the universe is a lot more vast and complex than we maybe realized.
Definitely. And our souls, well, they're on this incredible journey of learning and evolution, and that journey, it might span multiple lifetimes, even multiple worlds. It really makes you question everything you thought you knew about life and death.
It does. And as we go forward, I think the big question for all of us is, how does that change how we live our lives? If we're all connected, if our actions have such far-reaching consequences, does it inspire us to be more compassionate, more intentional in our choices? Knowing that we're all part of something much bigger.
Those are the questions we all have to answer for ourselves. It's a journey of discovery, for sure.
It is. Well, thank you for joining us on this amazing exploration of the Spiritist view of life, death, and beyond. We hope it's given you some food for thought. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, keep diving deep.